Welcome, Royal Family. You're tuned into Healing Queenz, the podcast, where the focus is motivation, support, and guidance for the growth of our queens. I am Emma E2K, your certified healing life coach. Welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about PTSD. And lucky for me, I have with me my home slice, my best friend, my amazing queen sister, Mo. We're going to talk about PTSD. We're going to talk in conversation. For those that are tuning in through the YouTube, Healing Queenz, you'll be able to see video. And those that are through Anchor FM will listen to audio. But if you want to see the beautiful Mo, please make sure you log in to see the visual. How you doing, Mo? Welcome. Welcome to Healing Queenz, the podcast. You made it, girl.
I know I made it. I feel so important right now. Like I'm right here with Emma E2K.
You are important.
20 years in the game and more, helping people, clothing people on their back, giving out, pouring into the community, giving so much of herself. And she's put clothes on me on my birthday. So like I ain't even, let's tell the truth. Like
and I didn't even pay her for this, folks.
and she, and I've seen so much amazing things from her, and I'm just grateful. We've been together for so long, and she didn't give up on me, and I didn't give up on her. And Definitely. It's hard to have somebody in this industry that still has your back, even with our ups and downs and our hiccups. So yeah, we're talking about PTSD, something I'm familiar with.
Post-trauma stress disorder.
Post-traumatic disorder.
And the heavy title that carries, right? When somebody says, oh, you have PTSD, automatically people go to veterans, not knowing that. I mean, and you're a veteran. So it's great because you coming through different perspective from the veteran side of actually being in serving, and thank you for your services. And you coming from being in the street and domestic violence. And so you have more perspective as far as the PTSD, and which is, of course, one of the main reasons I invited you, so you can be able to chime in and give some queens different perspective on this PTSD, or the gentlemen that are supporting the podcast, which is about 35% that tune in either for their wives or their daughters or their sisters, or just to know a little more in depth about what a true queen goes through. Talk to me about your perspective as far as, again, being a veteran. When did you find out about the PTSD, and then what did you do about it?
My PTSD happened from the military, dealing with military sexual trauma. They usually call it MST. It happens to men and women. Some people get sexually harassed. Some people have inappropriate situations, or people get raped, just like with the situation with Vanessa Guillen. But she was actually, harassed and then ended up being murdered on Fort Hood. So we've been advocating for that, making sure that legislation has been passed that it doesn't happen to anybody else. But women have been ostracized and sexualized from the day when we were actually conceived on this planet, so, it's tough. But I found out maybe like a couple of years ago, I was talking to another female veteran that went through it, and she was like, you got PTSD. I said, what is that? Wow. You hear anxiety, depression, but being from a foreign culture, people just think you're nuts, you're crazy. It's a stigma. You feel ashamed. Like, I don't want to admit I have PTSD. You don't want to admit that you have something wrong with you. Like, there's sometimes when I have lapses in my memory and I can't remember stuff, and I know I'm not the same. And sometimes there's a silent war going on in my head, and I had to realize that I'm not the same. So I ended up getting therapy. It didn't work out the first time. They wanted me to do group therapy, but I didn't want to be in a group. But I tried it. Then after that, I got a therapist that works for me, and I'm all for therapy. I got therapy. I realized what was going on, journaling, my voice was lost. So I had to find out who I was, because I was just living. I was just existing. I wasn't living. So getting my voice out there, talking to somebody, that didn't know me, that didn't judge me, that just got it, made me feel so much better. And just understanding, yeah, it's scary. You feel ashamed, but you're not alone.
Right. Now, when you say you feel ashamed, where do you think that the shame comes from? Is it people? Is it the thought about people looking at you different, or is there something within you that brings up a shame?
I mean, it's a couple of things, like I said, I'm Nigerian. My parents are foreigners. So, most of the time, and they have interest. So sometimes they be like, oh, no, that's of the devil or something, especially with our culture. It's like,
Mm,
that's of the devil. What do you mean? That's only in your head, right? And then that's one thing. So they're not listening to you. You just want them to understand you. Then number two is you served in the military. What you mean you got PTSD? What do you mean by that? Like, that means you're soft, you're weak.
mm, mm.
And then when the thing happens to you, you're ashamed as a woman. Then you like, does my service even matter? You know? And who do I trust? So and then there's a stigma in America. It's just a stigma in general. If you have a disability, or you have some kind of like something wrong with you mentally, it just feels like, like they don't want to touch you. It's like, ew, you're icky, you have cooties or something.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
It's so immature, but
Yeah.
that's the way that they act. So, but it's making this normalized, and understand that this is real and people have issues.
Right. Whether it be PTSD or anything else, because I mean, not only you enlisting the war, right, but living in a war. So
Exactly.
in your
You're
society,
constantly,
some
yeah,
places where you live at, I mean, I'm raised in the Bronx, so I'm used to going to sleep
yeah,
with them shooting outside and being shootouts, and me going to sleep because I gotta get up the next day to do whatever. And then, to me in my mind, I'll see in the morning the body eventually, in the street or whatever, if somebody got killed. And that be normalized for so many years that when you step away from that, it's
exactly,
like, where did I think that this was normal? Like,
exactly,
you know, I mean, to the point that when there were shots, I can say, oh, that's a 44. Oh, I think that's
exactly,
a shot. That got to
exactly.
be a sort of shotgun. Like, why would I know that? Right? Growing up, how can I know caliber of guns? Because I hear them so much. So yeah, part of that, domestic violence, not knowing when you're gonna get hit or not, or being told what to do
Yeah,
24/7. That you get scared, you get paranoid. Oh, I gotta check the receipt. It takes you 2 seconds to get to the store and get back, because and then if not, they accuse you of doing
exactly.
something. It's like all this pressure and all that. So it can be in relationship, it can be where you live, your environment. Just so many things can cause the PTSD, and then you don't know it while you're in it. You adapt to it, but when you step out of it,
Mm-hmm.
that's when all that starts trickling, because you're like, why am I acting
Yeah,
this way? Why am I all of a sudden, you know, uncomfortable with, around certain people, certain
yeah,
triggers are triggering you, and you're like, why am I being triggered?
yeah.
Why am I doing all these
And
things?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it could be a smell, it could be the way somebody talks, a certain tone, it could be a location. Like till this day, like after going, I also dealt with an abusive, marriage, my first marriage, my daughter's father. While I was dealing with this whole situation with the military, and getting out, and broken, like my foot was broken, you know, and dealing with that, and dealing with an abusive relationship, you're triggered. You have trust issues. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust the military. I can't trust my husband. He's abusive. He's
where do I
controlling.
turn? Where do you turn?
Where do I turn? And then at the same time, he's controlling me. And then he's mentally messed with me to the point that you feel like you're nothing,
Wow.
right? And then you go from that, and then you've seen people get shot, get people get shot in the streets. And I've been, in the streets after, because I had to take care of any means necessary. I had to take care of my child, right? So I danced. I was in the street. I was an escort one time. I got into a car one time, and a guy came from was driving. He acted like he was like one of the Huxtables or something. He had a guy hiding in the back. That's why anytime I see it get in the truck that has tinted windows, I have to check and make sure that nobody's there. Because this
Wow.
dude jumped in the front. Luckily, I didn't have the seatbelt on, and he ripped the side of my dress, the other dude, and I just jumped out and ran for my life. I'm like, I gotta get home to my child, you know?
Right.
So these are the different things. You either, you know, become overly sexed, right? You're overly sexed to the point your body is numb. You either turn to drinking alcohol to numb the pain, or you know
Or
you have a
drugs.
situation where you're using drugs and stuff like that. So like it's so many different things, and I've seen people get shot even after that. So it was back to back to back trauma, you know. So then the only way to heal is to go through therapy, have somebody to talk to, because you feel alone. You honestly feel like you can't trust nobody, and everybody's out to get you. You're trying to get out of that cycle of being, you know, the victim and becoming the victor and the survivor, and saying that you can do this and you're not alone, and there is hope. And I'm a living testimony, and Emma's living testimony. You
Right.
can through.
Right. And I'm gonna stand on that too as well. I'm, you know, we're both life coaches, and we have clients, but the main thing we always tell everyone is you need to also seek therapy, you know, a therapist, a licensed therapist,
Yes,
because there's things that as a coach we can, you know, help you through, but there's other things that you need actual therapists or even maybe a psychiatrist. You may need
exactly.
medication, and you know what? That's fine. It's better to seek medication, and it's better to talk to a professional and um, and get diagnosed, but at least you can seek help for it, than not being diagnosed and you just trying to figure it out. And you know what? It's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse
Exactly.
if you don't seek help for it. So yeah.
Exactly.
Um
Journaling.
yeah, I was just gonna ask you, what have you done? Like what are your steps or tools that help you?
So my tools, even I tell my clients this, but I also do the practice too. I journal. I journal every day. I have to get the thoughts out. And like I want to tell people, even if you know you're fighting a war and it seems jumbled, as long as you get out, like Emma says, to release it, right?
Release it. Let it
Um,
go.
so journaling, saying affirmations every day. If you think it, most of the time that you can do it. So if you tell yourself, reprogramming your mind to tell yourself that you can do this, because the thoughts will come in. There's CBD training, cognitive behavior training, and all these different things. You have to analyze the thoughts that are coming up, the feelings, the emotions. Why is this happening? Is it worth the time, right?
And it works.
So yeah,
It
and it
works.
works. And just, you know,
If you keep
yeah.
telling yourself you're amazing, you'll
Mm-hmm.
start seeing yourself as amazing.
Exactly.
I know that when I first began my I'm a queen journey, people were like, if you say you're a queen one more time, but
It worked.
fast forward, you know, that's the first thing when they see me is now I'm considered, you know, queen. Like, you know, it's okay, okay, oh, that's the queen or purple or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, because you know, I'd rather call me a queen. That's the highest compliment you can give a woman, which is why I call others queen or sis or cuz, you know, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many amazing words that we can say to uplift. I come from the Bronx. You know, we used to, hey, that's my B, that's my main
Mm-hmm.
B, that's my, you know, this and that. And those were words of endearment. If somebody called you
Exactly.
their B, you're like, oh my God, they really love me and all that, you know? But when you know better, you do better,
Yeah,
you know? And now
exactly.
somebody calls me a B and my ear goes, ee!
Yeah.
Can't even, I just can't. I can't stomach the word or any other words that it's not uplifting. Or if you're not calling me
Exactly.
amazing or queen or whatever, I'm just not having it. I've reprogrammed my mind, my thought, and my spirit. Like I'm just not
Exactly.
allowing nobody just to dump their stuff on me, and I'm just gonna be carrying everybody's stuff and suffering more from it. So no. So
Yeah.
affirmations, yes, I'm with you on that strongly.
Affirmations, journaling, and then sometimes, and then, you know, sometimes, you know, people want you to be stuck in your old ways, right? So they
Mm,
want you to go back and
mm,
be toxic and stuff. And when you're going into your ascension and you're becoming and stepping into your power,
mm.
you know, you're going to lose people. And
Yeah.
it's okay if you have that power to, or that power for. It's okay, because God has set forth everything for you, you
Yes.
know. And like I said, it's, you know, it's hard. You know, there's going to be days
Listen,
you just going to cry.
God, everything that goes away, God multiplies it by 10.
Amen.
So any
Amen.
friends that I've lost, I mean, I've
Amen.
gained, you know,
Amen.
2 or 3 that were worth more than the 10.
Amen. Come on, come through, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Come through,
You know,
God.
God shows up and show out so mighty that I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, I really know who my true OG is, you know? And so
Exactly.
shout out to my OG, the Lord.
Exactly. OG. Hey,
That's the OG that never failed. That is loyalty right there. People talk about,
that's
oh, you loyal, loyal. You
unconditional
don't know what
love.
loyal means.
Unconditional love from ups and downs, agape love. That's true love.
Come
You
on.
know,
I'm the
and love.
apple of my father's eye, man.
Come on now, come
I'm
through,
a
God.
daughter of the king of all kings.
Come through,
Like,
God.
okay.
Come through, God.
On God, yo, on God.
Oh God.
But
That's why I love the.
you have
I
to
love
find,
the.
yeah, you have to find, you know, your spirit, man. Because I know, you know, your spirit crashes down with when you have PTSD, you don't know what you're doing, where you're going, and stuff like that. You have to find that this joy with it, you know, the joy that God puts in you, like it's in
Amen.
there. You just got to kind of like sometimes pump it up, you know, resuscitate it or something, but it's there. The joy is there, and joy
Exactly.
comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. You just got to go to sleep and wake up and be like, yes, it's a new day, and the devil is mad. I'm up.
Exactly. The
I'm
devil is
up.
mad and he tries to play with you. He tries to use the closest people in your life. But you know what? You're going to come through because you got to go through to come through. And you're going to come out stronger.
Yes.
And I just want people to know that you are not alone. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault, the things that happen and transpire. And you know what? It makes you grow and understand that you are beautiful and you are loved and you are enough. It's already hard enough in the world, but just like I said, you know, to know people is knowledge, but knowing yourself is enlightenment. And come to know yourself and understand that if you're dealing with PTSD, reach out.
Yes.
And if you know somebody that's dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety, reach out, touch them, understand them. Don't just think sometimes we wear masks just to go through the day.
I
But
think everybody wears a mask.
we all, we all,
If you
we
ask
all,
me. I'm wearing lashes right now. That's a mask.
I'm wearing lashes to wear makeup. So, you know, we all wear masks, sis.
Right.
God bless you for doing what you do for real.
But I'm wearing my mask and walking in my truth. And listen,
Woo!
make me take off my lashes out here for everybody, okay? Because
you better come on through. You better come on through, Emma.
Okay. Listen, again, for those that are listening, the queens, the kings that are getting this information, if you know a queen, and gentlemen too, man, keep your hands to yourself, man. Keep your hands to yourself. If you're looking at this video and you know you picked up your hands on a woman, like, come on, man, stop. You know that's not manly, that's not godly, and that's just not right, you know? And saying just because she forgives you 10 times doesn't mean that she really forgives you. It just means that you have beat her insides so, you know, like you've just destroyed her so much that she really doesn't even know where she's coming or going. And you want, and that's what you consider having a woman by your side. That's what you consider being a man, beating a woman so low and so down that she just accept any crap from you. Come on, you got to do better, man. 21, we doing better. 21, we doing better. My brothers, man, you call yourselves kings out there in the street, but inside a home, you are rotten to the core. It's time to change. It's time to let God do some work or get a therapist, seek some help. That is not cool and it is not cute, man. You're destroying lives. So PTSD, it can happen to anyone, not just women. Of course, happens to men, but this podcast, it is geared more to our women. But
and
again,
it doesn't have to, you don't have to serve in the military. I mean, generational trauma, somebody getting shot, being in a hostile environment. PTSD can happen at your job. Somebody try to rob you. Anything can cause PTSD. So, you know, don't just get the stigma, oh, you got to serve in the military. Every day you're serving in life.
Every day you're serving. I like that. And in some places, you're really at true war.
Come on now.
You're really in true war. Like, you know, even we start even dressing fatigue. Why are we doing that? Mentally, we already adapted ourselves to put on the Timberlands, put on the fatigues because we're out there in war. So just seek help. If you know, nobody got to tell you, you know, how you're feeling and what makes you happy. And you know when you're depressed, man, but it's time to step into the light. Time to step into the light. Have other people pray for you. You know, if somebody invites you to church, just go, because God speaks to you through different people. Man, God uses a rock. He can use a donkey. He definitely, I pray that he's using us right now for somebody that's listening and really needed this information or this extra boost to go out there and get some help and get some assistance. If anybody wants to reach you, where can they find you?
Well, I'm the owner of She Wins, founder of She Wins Network. We're on Facebook. We got a Facebook group and a regular page. But I'm going to give out my personal email. It's mojisola.edu@gmail.com. And if you need help or anything, or Emma, contact us. You know, we're here, you know, to support you, especially our queens out here. Remember, even if your crown is crooked, we'll adjust it for you and let you know that you'll continually be a queen. We love you and we pour into you. And speaking of that, Emma, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got to put some prayer down real quick. You already know. Go ahead,
Yes.
Queen. We need prayer.
So we always know that when a queen wins, we all win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win for all of us, and this is why we always are pushing forward, always to educate and to empower the women that are out there, because the sisterhood is serious. It's important to know that you have a group of women that, although they're doing different things, we all the same at the end of the day. You know,
Yes.
the village has to be strong, and we need different women for different reasons. So you have your friends and you have those queens that you can go out just shopping and it's beautiful. But you have those that when you're broken and tore up, you can come to them with one eyelash missing, talk about, I need to talk, I need to cry, and come on, let's go, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So your village has to be surrounded with just all type of sorts of just different women to uplift you. Thank you, because you're definitely one of those in my village. You've been in one of the women in my village, my corner sisters that have uplifted me. You've done seen me go through it in in different times. We've been there definitely for each other, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I appreciate you and I thank you. And in this moment, if I've never said it, I appreciate everything you've done for me and the value that you bring to my life. The fact that you see me, you know, you really see me. You laugh with me,
Yo.
you cry with me, you walk with me, you do life with me. And I'm glad that in my healing journey, I could still count, you know, count on you and tap you in. Hey, we're healing. So I thank you for that. I love you. You are my sister for life.
I didn't come on here to be crying right now.
For those that are just tuning into Anchor FM, just
Oh,
audio, but those that really want to see them tears coming out Mo's eyes,
oh my
please go to the
God.
YouTube.
Yo, and I have to say the same that I love you, Emma. Like we've been through a lot. We've gone through different relationships. We've gone through growing up, raising our children, and you know, and finding ourselves and growing as women, as business owners, and things like that. And I love you, and I continue to just see you just grow, and I'm proud of you, you know, and thank you so much for still hanging in there with my crazy self.
We all got
And
issues, girl.
you know, we all, but you know, but I love you to death, and you know, I wouldn't have it any other way, you know.
Where you weak, I'm strong.
Amen.
Where you weak, I'm
Amen.
strong.
Amen.
So thank you everybody that's been supporting the podcast so far. We are on number 34. This is our number 34 and our first video and audio. You know, a lot of people were saying, hey, we want to see your face. I don't know why they said that, but I listened. This is what we're going to
You
be
got a
doing.
beautiful face.
This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some video. We're going to be doing some more interviews. Because at the beginning, when I started, it was just me, just my opinion, talking about topics. But why just me? You know, I can bring other queens in and we can chime in on all these things that happen to us and listen to other different perspectives and hope that we can just drop a gem or you know, or plant a seed where you begin to also want to start your healing journey. So again, Mo is a certified transformational
Transformation.
coach. I am a life healing, certified healing life coach. Check us out. We know licensed therapists that we can recommend you to if you're in the need of someone that's licensed. We can do that too. Healing Queenz has resources. Reach out to us, healingqueenz@gmail.com. And the
Oh,
reason
and
why
give them your website too. Give them your website.
so it's healingqueenz.org, healingqueenz.org. The website, hopefully by the time this video comes out, the website will also be up and running. If not, we're on YouTube. So that's Healing Queenz with a Z. And we do have the YouTube. This video will be up there. Or you can
Follow
go
them on
to Anchor
Instagram.
FM. Now, we are a nonprofit organization, so we do count on the generosity of our audience. So if you feel that this video or this episode touched you in any type of way, man, if it's $1, we have Cash App and we have PayPal. PayPal is Healing Queenz with a Z @gmail.com, and our Cash App is Healing Queenz with a Z. So, we will appreciate $1, $5. Everything goes back to us doing life with women. And that looks different for everybody. Maybe they might need some groceries. Maybe, they might need just gas to get through to the week to go to work. Whatever it is, we want to be able to meet their needs. And, we do it again with the generosity of the public. So thank you once again. Thank you, Mo, for coming in and talking about PTSD. We look forward to doing much more podcasts, much more videos. Usually mine's are short, like 8 minutes, 10 minutes. But when I'm in an interview, we'll stretch it out a little longer because of people's time span. We try to stay under 30 minutes. And yeah, we're getting there. It's on the time. So thank you, everybody. Shout out to Africa, Nigeria, Puerto Rico, Brooklyn, Bronx. We see you, man. We see you tuning in. We see you. We love you. Colombia, Bolivia. The list goes on. Talk about international audience, girl. We have international audience. It'd be serious. So shout out to wherever you're at. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for reposting, man. I see y'all doing it. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the shout outs. And those that support, that go through Anchor FM, you can also go there and support us with $1 a month. That's $12 a year, man. You waste more than that on just nothing, right? So $12 a year. And we do so much with that. We have care packages that we give out to the women that are homeless. We have workshops, and all this is free to the women. So you will help us out with all the things that we need to be able to provide free services for the women that come in and seek us out. Again, thank you. Thank you in advance. And until next time.
Peace.
Peace.